The last few weeks have been crazy at Manchester United. I cannot believe the amount of changes happening, what has been happening behind the scenes, massive signings like Yoro and Zirkzee, players that I was saying in March, oh, it'd be amazing if Man United would sign these players, but they probably won't. There is a crazy amount of moves happening at United. Like, as Dana said here, the fact that the deal was just done so quick. And it was a good signing, and it was good value for money, and getting a guy that was Real Madrid bound. Like, what is going on at Man United is crazy. I can't believe what's happening. We are finally sort of getting to the end of the Glazer eras. The Glazers are here, but they've given up sporting control. Apparently, they've essentially given Ineos full control of everything for the next 2 years because the finances of the club are so dire, and they know to get it back, we need to perform well on the pitch, we need to do well on the pitch, and we'll bring in more money. Ineos are here to somewhat save the club, and it finally feels like it's the end of the Glazernomics era. Of course, there's FFP, there's situations where we can't spend ridiculous money, but we're buying players, we're buying smart players, we're acting swiftly, we're doing the right kind of deals, we're bringing in Ashworth, Wilcox, Berrada, Yoro rejecting Real Madrid for United, Zirkzee had an agreement with AC Milan, wants United, Ligt, Braithwaite, Ugarte all have personal terms agree with United. Whether they're joined or not, they want to come. The project that Ineos have presented to those players has got to be very exciting. They keep talking about building the best environment. Wilcox, Vivell from the RB clubs, Omar Berrada, Dan Ashworth leaving Newcastle after rejecting us 2 years prior. Newcastle, the richest club in the world. This feels like Man United are finally doing something different. It finally feels like the Glazers are gone and we're starting this journey of doing what we've needed to be doing for years. Not this Ed Woodward buying someone that's going to sell shirts. It's just great to see the changes going on at United. And the mad thing was, in March, I was saying, if Zirkzee is available for £35 million, we should do this. This is the signing we should get. I was saying in April we should go and get Yoro if we can't get Todibo. And, and it's just... It's amazing to see that United acting like a proper club, and we'll get into the transfer news as Ugarte, Ligt, Fofana, Subamende. What is the latest on that? But to just see that we're acting like a proper club, and I saw Academy Scoop say this was kind of inspired this video. Can't remember the last time when there was such a positive buzz around United, from the academy and first team to coaching staff, leadership structure, everything back towards the top. It looks good. Like, the academy is fantastic. We're not even really going to touch upon the academy in this video, but we've got obviously the young stars. We'll talk about them. But I mean, Toby Collier could be coming through. We've got great players like Shea Lacey, who'll probably need another year to develop. Harry Amas, technically unbelievably good. The Fletcher twins. People that haven't even been mentioned, like JC Fitzgerald and Ahmet Ibrahimov, that haven't really gone on tour or been heavily involved yet, but they're very talented players. The likes of Dan Gore, if he can get back on track, is a very talented player. There's some special players in the United Academy, and United are building this project under Ineos, which is going to be incredibly youth-focused. Incredibly focused on the youth, the future of the club. And this is talking about Kobbie Mainoo, Garnacho, Højlund, and now Amad Diallo, who set the stay at United, and United trying to get him down on a new deal, as being part of the future, being part of the plan. That is what Manchester United are working on. That's what Manchester United are hoping to do. These kind of deals, these kind of movements at the club. And when I say these kind of deals, I mean bringing in young new signings like Zirkzee and Yoro, 18 and 22 or 23, and building around the young players in the club. Not doing a Chelsea and, bringing out their best academy youngsters and selling them and bringing in a load of youngsters. I mean, building around your academy youngsters and bringing in more good youngsters, but not stockpiling them to build a talented team. But I think the most important change, and probably the biggest thing that's needed at Manchester United, was a change in structure, a change in people at the top. That was the most important thing that's needed to happen at United for a while. It's structure change. It's bringing in the right people. It's bringing in people that aren't bankers, that aren't accountants, that are actually going to focus on the footballing needs of the club first. And this is obviously the likes of Brailsford, Berrada, Ashworth, Wilcox, and obviously Vivell, who'll be working more so on recruitment, so he's staying back, all at Manchester United. Brailsford, Berrada, Wilcox all travelling to LA with Ten Hag to support Ten Hag, get to know each other, build a team. Vivell will stay back and work more on transfers. This is the recruitment specialist. And, this team is football focused. This team is eager to impress. It was said that Omar Berrada led final negotiations for the Yoro deal. It was said the chase had become an obsession, with Berrada eager to beat Real Madrid and signal a new direction for United. It was said that Jason Wilcox flew out to meet Yoro at an early stage in the process to impress upon him how much he wanted him and how they were going to progress him. For Manchester United to bring in Yoro, and people don't realise this, but Lenny Yoro was very much Real Madrid bound, to the point that PSG had dropped out, to the point that obviously Liverpool just thought, well, we're not going to be able to get him, so we're not going to pursue this. Lenny Yoro was so set on Real Madrid. You know, people like Ashworth have rejected United in the past. The project that Ineos must have sold to people like Ashworth and Berrada to leave City and Newcastle to come to United would have been, things are changing at United, you're now going to get control. You would have rejected United in the past because the Glazers wouldn't let you have control, and the Glazers would have been, you know, doing what Glazernomics stuff. We're going to let you have control. We're going to run United with a football first operation. So we bring in these people who are like, wow, I'm going to come to United because it's football focused first. I believe they sold that project to Lenny Yoro, that this is part of the new exciting project. This is part of the era where we're going to get Manchester United bosh. We're going to be working hard. We're going to be back. We're going to be football focused, and we want you to be part of this project. We must have done something to convince Lenny Yoro to join United, and Wilcox and Berrada were certain, we've got to get Lenny Yoro. This is who Real Madrid want. This is the next best player. This is a statement. And this was a statement from Ineos to get Lenny Yoro, to get Brailsford, to get Ashworth. And if you look at sort of the reputation of Berrada, he manages recruitment to make sure clubs stick to budget. He's the CEO. He overviews the more financial side of the City group. He's worked in a multi-club network before. But he's saying you've got 1 to 2 years to prove yourself or you are out. That's why Man United have reportedly put Anthony up for sale today. If you've not proved yourself within 2 seasons, you're out. Mason Mount, I think he can be a good sign for United, but if he does not prove himself next season, he could be out. You know, he turned down the signing of Maguire and went for Diaz, because once Maguire went over £60 million, he thought we can get Diaz for the same price, better value for money. He helped put a strategy in place, which means Man City now have a sustainable transfer strategy. They make decent money from outs. You know, they make a lot of money from outs. Like, Man City's net spend in the last 3 years has been one of the best in football. Yes, they spent loads in the years before that, but the long-term impact of Omar Berrada putting in that transfer strategy at Manchester City means that they have a really efficient system that, let's be honest, we're all jealous of. And he's done it at the highest level. You've got Ashworth, that was so vital at West Brom, you know, keeping them in the Premier League, mid-table side on a limited budget, most sustainable, best era. But most importantly, it was the environmental and culture changes he makes. He's okay at recruitment, but it's actually putting the foundations in place. So the academy, the women's, the men's teams, the recruitment, everyone at the club aligns to create the best environment and culture. And one thing he did at the England camp was this, only the shirt size changes, which means, you know, England camp used to be quite negative. There used to be bad vibes. There used to be loads of good players, loads of big egos. But he put into the academy all the way through that only the shirt size changes, and we're going to have this ethos of a good environment in the young players, so that will be taken into the first team. And look, the England camp is a very happy place. He established a way of playing and a vision for Brighton and changed the element of the club. Every element of the club to achieve that. He said, Brighton are going to play this way. We're going to bring in a manager that can play this way, Graham Potter. We're going to recruit to play this way. We're going to bring in specialists in recruitment, specialists in this factor, specialists in sports science, and get everyone working together to get Brighton to be a club that plays this way. And that's what he did at Brighton. And that's one of the reasons that Brighton are so successful as they are today. And already at Newcastle, he made multiple changes, focusing on changing the environment. He ripped out the academy, put new people in. He made so many key changes. And with the talent in the United Academy, he's only going to do that further at Manchester United. But if we dive into some more stories, we dive into some more news, some more updates on everything going about as well, we know that Jason Wilcox coming in, he will help with the academy recruitment. He'll be more of a technical director. But, you know, we also want Jason Wilcox in because of what he did with Palmer, you know, Delap, Lewis. There's a lot, Sancho, Lavia, Foden, some great players there. You know, he resigned as City's academy director. He moved to Southampton. His dream was to be a sporting director. City wanted to keep him, but he wanted a sporting director role, so he left City. Man United have offered him a lesser role than sporting director, but he came back to United. Now, interestingly, this is an old report from the Muppeteers that I've used from an old slide, but remember when we were pushing for Dougie Freedman on top of Ashworth and Paul Mitchell on top of Ashworth? We didn't get Dougie Freedman or Paul Mitchell because they didn't want to be a recruitment specialist. They wanted to be a director of football, which is fair. But it was the ambition for Ineos to push for that and bring in those kind of people. And what I like about Ineos is they've made it clear, Ratcliffe's made it clear in many interviews, and with the way that they're acting, it's football success is the priority over financial success, because with football success, financial success will come, said Ratcliffe. The goal is now, you know, footballing success. There's now communication between Ineos and staff. You know, they're going on the trip together. They want to communicate. There wasn't communication between, you know, the staff under the Glazers and the staff. Murta and Arnold, who got a lot of stick, the Glazers hung them out to dry a lot of times. They want to hire the best in class. They're doing that. They're banning they put a 2-year ban on the Glazers taking out dividends. They've already injected over 200 million to go into the stadium, the facilities, the Carrington project. Ineos have already put a 200 million cash injection in. There's facility and stadium plans in action right now. You know, they've already, you know, talking about new stadium. That is in plan. We're already signing players. And they're thinking, you know what, we've now got sporting control in us. They've got sporting control, and you can see that. And I want to dive in to this report from 4 months ago. And the reason I want to dive into this report from 4 months ago is I think it's a really interesting, detailed report. And it says this: Ineos want to become more cost-effective as a business, telling staff to look after club money as if it was their own. Introduce a more collaborative approach at Carrington by creating new communal areas for the manager, his coaches and backroom staff. Upgrade the gym facilities at Carrington and cut loose staff who are not committed to a new era. This was said 4 months ago. What's happening now? Carrington is being redeveloped. Tick, that's one. The other thing they want to do is be more cost effective as a business. Now, obviously it's sad, but we know that 250 staff are going to be let go. We know that Manchester United also got rid of staff that were just underperforming. They banned working from home. Ratcliffe sent out angry emails to staff. It's sad that 250 people are going to lose their job, but Manchester United had Ed Woodward doing the job about what 4 football specialists should be doing, and Berrada, Wilcox, and of course the likes of Ashworth. Ed Woodward was doing the role that 3 really highly experienced people should be doing. But on the commercial side, which we've been good at, we had 200 more staff members than any other football club in the world on commercial stuff that we didn't necessarily need. So Ineos are just being, even though these changes don't make a massive difference, they've got to be cost effective. They've got to run this business properly, because otherwise it doesn't set a good example. And they've let 250 people go. They have to be brutal in the world of business because they're running United like a proper club. And part of it is a proper transfer strategy. Zirkzee, Yoro, they're normally focusing at players between 20 and 25, but Yoro was just such a superstar. Young talents between age 15 to 19 to go into the academy could be loaned to Nice or Lausanne, like City have done with the City group. Berrada is trying to improve negotiations and overpaying. Brandfleet was the number 1 target. We seem to walk away. We're stalling on Ugarte because PSG are asking for a ridiculous fee. That probably will get done for a lower fee. But you can see, we couldn't get Brandfleet. Cool, whatever. We've got Lenny Yoro, even better. And Dan Ashworth put more focus into scouting data, finding young talents, brought Vivell in to do that. And it's about signing not superstars. Man United in the past would have spent loads of money on a big name, a superstar name, but they said, no, we don't want high-wage players. We don't want players who are superstars. We don't want players that think they've made it. We don't want players with bad attitudes. We want these young players that are going to suit the style of football we want to play and be this developing project at United. That's what we've got. And look at the names we could be bringing in: Ugarte, Subamende, Matthias de Ligt, some really good young, talented options out there. There's links to Fofana, there's links to Kuhlman, there's links to a number of players. But Man United are building something special. No player is safe as well. We're willing to do outs. Now, what we do in regards to ins is going to massively depend on the outs. We want Pelistri gone. We want Casemiro gone. We want McTominay gone. We want Ericsson gone. We want Mejbri gone. They want Anthony gone. They're happy to offload Sancho. They're happy to offload Maguire. They want Lindelof gone. Wan-Bissaka could go. There's still a lot of outs that could happen, and that's going to massively impact our transfer window. But I wanted to do a video to talk about everything that's sort of gone on at United, because it's been wild, and actually just say, you know what, as someone that was very clear I wanted a full sale, and I wasn't happy when Ineos came in because I wanted a full sale. It wasn't about Qatar, it was about the full sale. I want these Glazers completely gone. Even though they're not gone, there's an element that feels like they're gone. This club is changing and I like it. Thank you for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.